Today we will see the expression for capillarity rise or drop. Okay. So I am writing capillarity rise. We have talked about this capillarity action. You know that you take a very thin straw, जिसे हम लोग कोल्ड ड्रिंक कहते हैं, उसको ऐसे पानी में अगर तुम डालते हो तो ये पानी इसके अंदर राइज करता है. That is because of capillarity. ये क्यों करता है भी मैंने बताया था. Why it happens like that also I told. And in the case of mercury, there is a dip. Remember? You have to watch the previous video, previous class you have to see. If this is all mercury, so this will rise and this will rise and there will be dip in the mercury. If it is mercury inside, ठीक है? अगर पानी है तो पानी नॉर्मल लिक्विड है तो लिक्विड राइज करता है. Now here एक पतला सा पाइप होना चाहिए, thin pipe, you know, whose radius is very less. The pipe is what cylindrical shape, उसका रेडियस बहुत कम होना चाहिए. वो हमें कॉमन सेंस से पता है. बराबर. तो बड़ा वाला पाइप डाल दोगे कैपिलरी राइज नहीं होगा. तो हमने बॉटल जो पानी वाला बॉटल है उसको डाल दोगे तो कैपिलरी राइज बहुत कम होगा. उसमें भी होगा लेकिन बहुत कम होगा. लेकिन अगर तुम स्ट्रॉ पर डाल दोगे जल्दी वो राइज करेगा. दिस इज व्हाट वी हैव सीन इन द previous class. Today we will see why it is happening like that. What is the expression? If I want to know कि this much height it has risen, I should be able to calculate that height. It's a very important topic. Many times questions are asked on it. Okay, it's an important topic. So let us look into this. Let us say I am taking water, so it forms a meniscus, right? It forms a meniscus like this. So if it is like this, it is going to wet it. ये इसको गीला कर देगा. अगर meniscus ऐसा है तो वो गीला कर देगा. ठीक है. तो यहाँ पर we need to see what is this. This is basically liquid. So here there is a liquid column is there. तो यहाँ और यहाँ में if this is the meniscus, there must be some radius. Am I right? This is a curvature. There must be some radius. Let us say that radius is r. Now this is the tube. This is some glass tube. The glass tube will have its own radius. Two things are there here. The glass tube will have its own radius, and there is a radius of curvature of the meniscus. Okay. Let us say the radius of curvature of the meniscus is capital R and the radius of the glass tube is small r. Clear? What is small r? Radius of glass tube. Okay? And what is capital R? Radius of curvature, that meniscus. Okay? Now there is a liquid column here. So inside and outside there will be a pressure difference. There will be a pressure difference. Now this pressure difference, let us say from the free surface this height is h. Okay, which we are trying to estimate. So there is a pressure difference between these two. What is the pressure because of the liquid column? You know that it is rho g h. Pressure because of the liquid column, it is rho g h. We have already done some problems also on this. Now this is basically the pressure difference between this inside and outside. Outside is air, inside is liquid. Okay, liquid है, water है. So what is the pressure difference? Delta P is equal to 2T by R. We have seen this expression. If it is a liquid column, if it is a water bubble, it is 2T by R, delta P. we can calculate excess pressure. What we have seen in the previous class, excess pressure can be estimated. It is 2T divided by R. Now I just blow this up, okay? I just zoom it, I draw it here. You have a radius capital R like this. This is your small r. Can I draw a tangent here like this? Now this is my theta. This is the theta, right? I told you how to calculate the angle of contact. You have to draw a tangent there. Wherever you are calculating, you have to draw a tangent. Starting from the solid surface, you have to measure the angle. So this is your theta. So if this is your theta, it is something like this. So this is your theta. This is your theta, this is also your theta. Okay. Now in this triangle, call some name OAB. Can I write R is equal to R by R is equal to cos theta? R by capital R. This capital R becomes the hypotenuse. This angle becomes right angle. You are taking a normal from this point. R is normal you have drawn. So this becomes R, small r divided by capital R is equal to cos theta. Alright? So can I write R is equal to R divided by cos theta? Why I am trying to bring it in terms of small r? Because small r value you know. Radius of meniscus you don't know. You don't know what is radius of meniscus. But this glass tube, radius you know. It can be 6 mm, it can be 8 mm, it can be 12 mm, whatever it is. Alright? So that is why you are trying to bring it into small r value. Small r is the known value. Capital R you have to calculate mathematically, which we don't want to. Okay? In physics you always try to bring it in terms of variables which you know, rather than getting into variables which you don't know. Okay? So R value we put here. So what are you getting? This becomes rho GH is equal to 2T divided by capital R. Capital R is R divided by cos theta. So this becomes R. Cos theta goes to the top. Cos theta goes to the numerator. So we want H. H is the capillarity rise here. If you say it is rise, you put a plus value. If it is a dip, you put a minus value. Remember the sign convention. पानी ऊपर जा रहा है तो प्लस लगाओ, नीचे आ रहा है तो मरकरी माइनस लगाओ. Concept remains the same. Clear? So H is equal to 2T cos theta divided by rho GR. What is this T? Surface tension. Surface tension of what? That liquid. If you are putting water, you have to put the surface tension of the water. If you put some other liquid, you have to put the surface tension of that particular liquid, can be kerosene, whatever. Okay? So H is equal to 2T cos theta by R is a very important expression you should remember. Okay? Observe here. For the liquid T is constant. Theta is constant. No? Angle of contact for water surface, the values are also given in the book. Different liquids, how much is the angle? It's a fixed value. Rho is a constant. Density, G is a constant. What is varying? R. Can I say H is inversely proportional to R? Smaller the radius, larger is the capillarity rise. This is what we have discussed. अगर मैं straw को डालूंगा तो rise कम होगा, I mean rise ज़्यादा होगा. अगर मैं pipe को डाल दूंगा तो मेरा rise बहुत कम होगा. ये mathematically भी true हो गया. So capillary rise is dependent upon what? It is dependent upon the radius of the tube you are taking. Alright? If you put lesser radius of the tube, more will be the rise. Isn't it? So this is one way of calculating this. You can have another approach also. In the same this is method 1 of calculating. What is this method? We have used the concept of excess pressure here. Okay? We have used the concept of excess pressure. Let us see the second method. If I am drawing this Can I say, now there is a curvature here, there is a curvature. If I draw a tangent in this direction, so this is your force due to surface tension. Remember that the surface tension acts on the membrane on the top surface. I told you, you have to draw the tangent over there, you get the value I told you, right? Remember? So this is the force due to surface tension. If this is your theta, this is also your theta. Vertically opposite angles. Clear? This is your theta, this is also theta. So can I say this component is Ft cos theta? Can I write like that? This becomes Ft sin theta. I don't want that. I want this component. Ft cos theta. What is Ft? Force due to surface tension is nothing but T multiplied by L. T is equal to F by L, no?
Yes.
घर पे पढ़ रहे हो? Surface tension is total force by total length. I told you. What is the total force? That is surface tension force. This is surface tension. Both are different things. Okay? So the total force how you are getting? Tension, surface tension multiplied by the length. Appropriate length you have to put. Okay? Now this liquid column has some volume. It has got some weight. The weight is acting downward. Would you agree? If I am taking a particular element, this is an equilibrium. Why? Because one component is acting in the upward direction, one component is acting in the downward direction. Your weight is balanced by this force. Yes or no?
Yes.
Your weight is balanced by Ft cos theta. Isn't it?
Yes.
So can I frame the equation? Ft cos theta is equal to m into g.
Yes.
Can I write it like that?
Yes.
Now, for writing mass, this is not a solid. This is a liquid. So, liquid, how do you find mass? You have to do density multiplied by volume. If I have to calculate the weight of the duster, I can measure it. But in case of liquid, what do you do? You take the volume multiplied by the density. Okay. Now, let us put the values here. T multiplied by length. Which length I have to put? Now, this is your surface. It is acting on the surface, no?
Yes.
So this radius is small r. What is the length? Perimeter? Perimeter? So T into 2 pi r. Which r? Small r. T into 2 pi r. This is your Ft. Clear? Multiplied by cos theta. Theta is the angle of contact. Is equal to m. M is rho multiplied by v. Am I right? So rho multiplied by v means this is area multiplied by height only, no? This is the top film. What is the area of the top film? Pi r square?
Yes.
Pi r square multiplied by height. Clear? Which liquid column you are taking? You are taking this entire liquid column, no? Area multiplied by कितना ऊपर गया वो? H ऊपर गया? It became a cylinder.
Yes.
इसको इमेजिन करो ऐसे. इतना पानी घुस गया ना उसके अंदर. इसका एरिया ऊपर से देखने से कितना दिखता है? पाई आर स्क्वायर मल्टीप्लाइड बाय दिस हाइट. इसको कौन बैलेंस कर रहा है? द वर्टिकल कंपोनेंट ऑफ सरफेस टेंशन फोर्स. Clear now? See, the surface tension force is not acting only at this point. It is acting on the whole membrane. It is not a single force. अगर इसको मैं ड्रॉ करूंगा तो ये तुमको ऐसे दिखेगा. ठीक है? नीचे पानी है. इसको कौन ऊपर खींच रहा है? Surface tension force. Clear?
Yes.
The entire thing is balanced by the component of surface tension force. It is not a single force. It is acting on the
Whole membrane.
circumference. Okay? 3 into 2 pi r into cos theta, pi r square into h multiplied by g. So r goes, pi goes, and h is equal to 2t cos theta divided by rho g r. Same you got. This is second method to calculate the capillarity rise. This derivation also is important. Many times it is asked. Whichever you are comfortable, that you understand. Important thing is this equation. If theta is 0, it becomes 2t by rho g r. Okay? So you need to remember this expression for your problems, numericals. Page 43. Look at that illustration. A capillary tube of radius 5 into 10 power minus 4 meters. Which R he has given? Small r is equal to 5 into 10 to the power of minus 4 meters. Okay. Always work in SI units. In a beaker filled with mercury, the mercury level inside the tube is 8 into 10 to the power of minus 4. Mercury level inside the tube he has given. So this is your beaker like this. So this mercury level he has given height 8 into 10 to the power of minus 3 meters. Obviously this may have gone up, but we are not bothered about that. While talking about capillary, we talk something which is inside the capillary tube, not what is happening in the outside. Okay. So directly height he has given. He has used mercury. So is it a positive value or a negative value? There is a dip. So we put minus here. Clear? There is a dip. You know that mercury there is a dip. Determine the angle of contact between the mercury and the glass. You have to find theta. Okay. Surface tension of mercury THG is equal to 0.465 Newton per meter. Density, you know already, 13.6 into 10 power 3 kg per meter cube. G is equal to 9.8. Now we have to calculate this. So your H is equal to 2b cos theta divided by rho g r. Am I right? Now this H value what they have given you is a minus value. Here you want to find out the angle of contact. The angle of contact is what? Just so I have to find out the value of cos theta. Cos theta is equal to minus H minus 8 into 10 to the power of minus 3 into rho 13.6 into 10 to the power of 3 into g into small r. R value is how much? 5 into 10 to the power of minus 4 divided by, okay, cos theta is equal to, what are we finding out? We are finding out cos theta. H into rho g r I have done. Divided by 2 divided by t. T is 0.465. Okay? Do not forget this minus value here. You get a value. Alright? That is your answer. But you have to find the angle of contact here. And cos is negative here. If cos is negative, which quadrant cos lies? It is in second quadrant. So whatever you are going to get, that is basically pi minus theta value. Because cos of pi minus theta is negative value, no?
Yes.
Alright? So this value what you have got, what is the answer? Theta will be pi minus of this angle, what you got. Clear? इसको सॉल्व करोगे कोसाइन का वैल्यू निकालोगे कोई एंगल आएगा, कितना आएगा वो करना पड़ेगा क्योंकि ये रेगुलर नंबर्स नहीं है. मान लो 26 डिग्री आ गया, मान लो तुम्हारा आंसर क्या है? cos is negative value here. Your answer is 180 minus 26. 180 minus 26 how much? Let us say I am taking example. 26, 154 degree. It is more than 90.
Yes.
Obtuse angle.
Yes.
That is why there is a dip. So your answer is not this. Your answer is this. Options में दोनों रहते हैं हमेशा. ठीक है? जल्दबाजी नहीं करना है. ठीक है? Your answer is 155. I don't know the value of this. I'm just telling you an example. Capillary dip में you should be careful. You should be careful, you know. So we talk about fluid dynamics. Dynamics means moving. It's something moving, no? It is moving. Static means which is at rest. So till now we are talking about fluid which is at rest. Like you take the capillarity rise, the water is rising. Is the water moving? No, don't say that the water is moving from surface to the. No, not that moving. Like a river, which is a continuous flow. We are talking about that type of flow. Okay? So what are the things that are involved? When you study that type of fluid, you know, that comes under fluid dynamics. So here we'll one by one let us see few terms here. So first is, let us say, steady flow. First we need to understand these terms. Steady flow. Suppose if I take what have I drawn? Imagine there is a pipe like this, okay, of varying cross section or same cross section. This is some kind of 3D, you know. So this is the inlet, this is the outlet. So some water is flowing, let us say. So here, water is flowing means what? What is flowing? All the particles in the water are flowing? Liquid particles. I am not talking about the dust and all this nonsense. So all are flowing, right? So when we talk about fluid in motion, we usually kind of try to understand what is the pressure, what is the speed of the flow, all these things, you know. If I take some water in a pipe and I try to put it into gardening or whatever, I'll be interested in what speed it is going. So pressure, velocity, these terms come across quite frequently when we are talking about a fluid in motion. Okay. Now, suppose this pressure and velocity, you take some particular point. Now some flow is happening. Now the pressure and velocity is constant at that particular instant of time. At that time, you say that it is a steady flow. That means if I take 10 o'clock, I took this point, I measured pressure and velocity, I found it constant. Then I went at 11 o'clock, again I took the same point, I measured, it is constant, it is steady flow. Okay? Now, here all these arrows what I have shown you, they are showing you what? They are showing you the trajectory or the path of that particular particle. The particle which was here, it went to here. How? It took a trajectory. It took a path. Isn't it? This is called flow line. It's called what? Flow line. All these are given in your textbook. You can go to home and read. So, what is a flow line? See, all these are imaginary things, okay? We are trying to understand the liquid which is in motion. Alright? So, we have introduced some terms here. Now, flow line is one term. Steady flow is one term. Steady flow, you talk about when pressure and velocity is not changing with respect to time. Clear? So, that is the definition of steady flow. If you talk about this trajectory of this moving particles, you say that it is the flow lines. So, this particle had a flow line which is this. This particle, this is the flow line. Flow line. In what line it is flowing? Clear now? Now, if you come across the streamline, you know, streamline means suppose you take a particular flow line and this is curvature, you know. It need not be the case that every time it is straight line only. It can be a curvature. So you draw a tangent to that point, whichever point you are taking. Imagine it's a curvature. You draw a tangent. That is your streamline. Clear? 3 terms I have introduced. First is what? Steady flow. Okay. Second is what? Flow lines. Flow lines are imaginary things which you are putting into this subject to understand the flow, how it is happening. So, suppose it is a simple case like this, where all lines are going like this, you know, they are not intersecting each other, they are simply going like this. Okay. So, whichever point you take, you draw a tangent. So, we need to put a name for that. Now, that is called streamline. So, the streamline of this is here. The streamline of this is here. The streamline of this is here. You will have multiple streamlines. Clear? So, if you look at those streamlines, there can be a possibility that the streamlines are like this. Right? What are all these? These are all tangents we have drawn at different points. They can be like this also. They can be like this also. Okay? The streamlines need not be always straight like this. They can be like this also. Right? पानी ऐसे 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 राउंड राउंड मार के जा रहा है. कभी देखा है ऐसा पानी? वो पहाड़ों से जो निकलता है ना पानी, बहुत ऐसे से बहुत रोटेशन होता रहता है, वो एकदम सीधा नहीं जाता वो. दिस इज कॉल्ड टर्बुलेंट फ्लो. व्हाट इज इट कॉल्ड? Turbulence means disturbance, you know. This is a turbulent flow. This is what? A laminar flow. इसको streamline flow भी कहा जाता है. So this is laminar or streamline flow. Clear now? This is a turbulent flow. On what basis you are saying that? Based upon the flow line, based upon the streamlines. The streamlines are well defined like this. It's a laminar flow. Laminar flow is the easier way of understanding, easiest way of flow. You know? Turbulent flow is little complicated. इसमें rotation भी हो रहा है, देखो बहुत सारी चीजें involved है. This is not very simple, but this is quite straight. There is a flow. There is a clear cut. इतना gap नहीं होता है, you know? ये तो हमने बड़ा बना दिया. तुम लोगों को समझाने के लिए मैंने इतना बड़ा कैपिलरी ट्यूब बना दिया. इतना बड़ा ट्यूब नहीं होता है, ट्यूब एकदम पतला होता है. So there will be billions of lines like this, you know. It's not 3 or 4 lines. You need to imagine the flow like this, a set of arrows. Okay? If it is the streamlines are like this, you call it laminar flow. The streamlines are like this, it's called a turbulent flow. Okay? So if you look at page number 45, it's asking you, what would happen if two streamlines intersect? What would happen if two streamlines intersect? Is it possible, first of all? The answer is no. Two streamlines cannot intersect. Why? Because when you are saying that this is the streamline, you are saying the velocity of that particle at that point is this direction. Suppose you are thinking about a circular motion, which is rotating about a circle. Let us say, I take the object here. If I ask you where is the direction of velocity, what would you say? Draw a tangent here. So this is the, I am talking about linear velocity. I am not talking about angular velocity. Okay, angular velocity is always like this only. I am talking about the linear velocity. If I ask you, this particle is there now here. After some time t, where is the direction? What you will say? You draw a tangent here, right? Now here these particles is only one. Here there are billions of particles. If you pick one particle of those billions of particles, so this is the curvature. What is the flow direction? It is like this, correct? Now suppose you have an intersection of streamlines like this. If I suppose two streamlines are intersecting, now this is the point. You are saying that this is also a direction and this is also a direction. एक ही पार्टिकल के दो डायरेक्शन कैसे होंगे? अगर वो भूत होगा तो वो भूत नहीं है. तो practically talking, you can have only one direction. So two streamlines cannot intersect. Okay? This will answer the question which is given there. It's a good question actually. Clear now? So write down all this. There is a concept of critical velocity. You know, what is critical velocity? That we will talk. These terms are very important. Questions are directly asked on this. Sometimes they ask in a question to find out the critical velocity. Critical velocity. What is critical velocity? Obviously, you are talking about critical velocity of the flow. We are talking about flow means we are talking about the flow only. Okay. Now, let us say the flow was like this at some stage, and it became like this. Okay. That means laminar became turbulent. Laminar became turbulent flow. Earlier it was a laminar flow. You kept on increasing the flow rate. You kept on increasing the speed. ठीक है? मे भी तुमने मोटर लगाया, कुछ भी लगाया, उसका स्पीड इंक्रीज कर दिया. There was some velocity v1 meter per second here. When you are saying that velocity, you are talking about all the particles. It is not like कि यहाँ पे इस लाइन में जो जा रहे हैं सब एक ही velocity से जा रहे हैं, अलग अलग velocity से नहीं जा रहे हैं. ठीक है? तो this v1 became v2. Let us say speed got changed because of which it became like this. पहले माना कि 2 मीटर पर सेकंड था, फिर यहाँ पे जब 20 हो गया तो ये ऐसा हो गया. तो स्पीड बढ़ते 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 किसी एक पर्टिकुलर स्पीड पे ये यहाँ से इस पे कन्वर्ट हो गया. कोई ऐसा स्पीड होगा? समझ में आया मैंने क्या बोला? तुमने यहाँ स्पीड इंक्रीज किया, 2 को किया 4, कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ा, वो ऐसे ही था। 4 को किया 8, द फ्लो वॉज लाइक दिस ओनली। 8 को किया 15, जैसे ही 15 किया वो ऐसे चेंज हो गया, फ्लो चेंज हो गया ऐसे। उसके बाद तो स्पीड इंक्रीज करते रहे, वो ऐसे ही रह गया। तो वहां पे एक ट्रांसिशन हुआ, ट्रांसिशन हैपेंड फ्रॉम दिस टाइप ऑफ फ्लो टू दिस टाइप ऑफ फ्लो, देयर वाज अ पर्टिकुलर स्पीड, दैट स्पीड इज कॉल्ड क्रिटिकल वेलोसिटी। ठीक है, तो क्रिटिकल वेलोसिटी निकालने का एक एक्सप्रेशन है, Vc is equal to R neta by rho d. We will discuss here. R is called Reynolds number. इसको लिख लो अभी के लिए, Reynolds number बोलते हैं। R is called Reynolds number. Neta is called coefficient of viscosity. In the next class we will see in depth what is viscosity and all these things. D is called the diameter. Okay, diameter of the tube, diameter of the tube, जिसपे से फ्लो हो रहा है ना, फ्लो happening through a pipe, the pipe will have a diameter, the D is the diameter. Okay, rho is the density of the fluid. So critical velocity Vc is equal to R neta divided by rho d. So this is the expression to calculate the critical velocity. I hope you understood what is the meaning of critical velocity. At some particular velocity, if you give more velocity, the fluid remains in turbulent flow. But that is not your answer. Clear? It was 2 here, 15 here, 20 here. You raised up to 20. Then when you made 21, it suddenly became like this. Then you made it 25, 30, 40. These are not critical velocities. This is the critical velocity where it is converting from laminar to turbulent. Okay? So we will meet up in the next class. We will take up some more topics. Okay? Go to home and whatever definitions I have told you, they are there in the book. You go through that. You have to thoroughly understand them. Okay? These terms keep coming up in your questions and all that. So you should know the meaning of them.